Welcome, friends. Welcome to Golden Girl Global's third and final launch. I'm Melissa Michaels, this initiative's founder and friend of the feminine. Thank you. Thank you for your time and your interest. For being here with us today, we thank you. Over the past 2 months, we've had a strong and slow birthing process. Each Golden Girls Global launch has introduced you to some of the vision fueling our initiative, along with connecting you with how the mission of our work translates into direct action on the ground. We have also been transformed through this birthing process. We've deepened as a collective, listening to the questions of who are we and who are we to become, individually and collectively. We are a group of 35 Golden Girl founding leaders. Join us. Together, we are working with thousands of girls worldwide, girls who have been objectified, violated, denigrated, left out of educational opportunities, stolen, stuffed, starved. Girls who have not enough or way too much. All bright lights, longing to learn and love and lead in ways that are true to their hearts and relevant for the world. You will meet many more of these mighty community leaders on the screen with us today. They're part of a lineage, 5 generations of female-identified souls who have come of age through our rites of passage processes over the past 3 decades. Together, we are held by noble elders and beloved ancestors, all of whom are here with us and dedicated to growing healthy humans in community, despite and because of it all. Each Golden Girls leader has made it through the crosshairs of their own normal adolescent development and the many interferences along the way, and are really now present on the path for so many, if not all, moving from childhood into ideally creative adulthood. These leaders have been deeply devoted to their inner work, which has given them the capacity to be inspired role models, educating and mentoring the girls in their midst who face similar challenges to the ones they are wrestling with or have had to. As many of you know, our healing and transformational work is rooted in the body, inspiring girls on the path of emergence by offering them somatic tools for befriending their hearts, their biographies, their ancestries, their creativity, their fertility, their intimacy, and ultimately their destinies. These leaders are becoming artists of the soul who can navigate along the front lines and the frontiers where movement, social and emotional literacy, rites of passage, environmental and social equity and justice, where they all intersect, which is life as we know it today. What began as a path for my own healing has grown into a rites of passage process, shape-shifted to meet the unique needs of girls in diverse communities and cultural centers near and far. This process then grew into a training, as you know, and now the Soma Source leaders are uniquely and powerfully out in the world, creating culturally respectful, developmentally sensitive experiences for the youth in their own communities. Today, we're going to go on a very special journey. First, to see the work in action in Brazil, then along a very special border and on to China to learn about the work there too. The needs everywhere for girls are great. We know that girls around the world are facing ongoing discrimination and horrific abuse simply for being young, for being female. We also know that there is a massive discrepancy between the impacts of neglect and violence on cisgendered white girls versus that of many Black, brown, trans, and indigenous girls. Everything is not all right for the girls of the world. As we speak, the best friend of one of our beloved Golden Girls from the Ogallala Lakota Sioux Reservation is being buried. This best friend and beloved childhood ally took her own precious life just a week ago. Sarita, one of our beloved core leaders in Golden Girls, will join me to dedicate this event today to Camilla and all the girls adrift and wondering not only how to be here, but if it's worth it.
Light this candle in prayer. We dedicate our work to those struggling to stay here and to those who have left us too soon. May your story guide us towards creating a more welcoming and worthy world for you. One filled with kindness, beauty, health, joy, justice, and opportunity. Amen. Ashe. Oh.
Thank you, Sarita. We extend our wings wide as we journey both deep into our own hearts and to the communities with us here and with us in spirit. Let's first go to Brazil, because we have a strong crew here with us today, and see one of our feature films that tells the story of the work unfolding both in Rocinha and in Rio. Join us. Let's go.
I feel that when I'm dancing, I can express myself much better than while I'm talking. It's easier and more truth because my body knows what it wants. Where I came from, people don't think they can do much. They always think they have only one option. Either is go to the streets and sell drugs or working in low salaries jobs. For me, it was complicated to grow in Rocinha because I had to deal with oppression in many ways. I feel always scared about being myself, about growing up. If I can come back home because they have like gunfires. I didn't know how to deal with all that scary parts of the day. So I was always keeping myself in. I thought it was safer. Being alone was safer than expose myself and be out of the world.
Eu sempre passei pela comunidade da Rocinha vendo aquilo, os bandidos com a arma, e sempre fiquei pensando, imaginando, será que esse vai ser o meu futuro? E eu ficava triste, às vezes chorava dentro de casa, porque eu não sabia o que me esperava mais pra frente. Então, através da dança, eu pude ver que não era só aquilo, e me mudei. Eu comecei a ser mais feliz, ficar bem comigo mesma, ter mais liberdade.
Aqui a gente tem aulas de dança, a gente tem aula de reforço, a gente tem nosso cantinho da literatura.
Crescer como uma garota no Brasil não é fácil, porque nós vivemos numa sociedade muito opressora. As mulheres que vivem em condição de favela, elas vivem muito recuadas, como se fosse uma cidade partida. O movimento O movimento é muito importante nesse meu trabalho porque nós existimos dentro desse corpo. Nós estamos em movimento o tempo inteiro e é uma das coisas que nós não temos consciências e isso faz parte da nossa saúde. A partir do movimento, você pode ter consciência de si mesmo. Você pode observar a si mesmo e entender o que está acontecendo, o que você está somatizando no seu corpo, das suas emoções, das suas experiências, onde estão esses bloqueios.
We are really working with them, focusing on issues of fertility and their bodies and emotions.
For me, fertility means creativity and also being with your body awake, you being open. How can you show your ideas or show your words, and how can you flourish anywhere you go? And the Golden Bridge has opened this understanding for me. In 2015, I went for the first time to Colorado to see Melissa's work. And then I've seen some things that I have never seen, like people asking you if they can touch you. And that kind of perception of each other made me think, how can it not be possible where I live? I didn't know we could have this kind of environment, this healthy environment, that everybody is take care of each other, they can be part of something like a sisterhood, a family.
Eu fui preparada para o trabalho externo e com a Golden Bridge eu tive um trabalho interno onde eu pude me fortalecer e crescer. Então, todo esse conhecimento, a cada vez que eu vou para os Estados Unidos, Melissa me ensina, me dá força para que eu siga o meu caminho, que eu continue trabalhando com essas meninas. E todas as novidades que eu desenvolvo lá, eu aplico aqui.
Golden Bridge showed me we are also our helpers. There are resources inside ourselves that can be used to fight this oppression, like breathing, like shaking, like talking, which is the most difficult one for a bunch of those girls. A great part of this work is being inspired, because the body is their first home. So they have to learn how to deal with that, how to accept that body and that home, so they can be more secure, they can be more sure about their choices, they can say no or they can say yes, but always having in mind being present inside their body, inside the world, outside the world. In the future, I believe and I hope that they can be multipliers of this idea of belonging, of this idea of being a woman. It's not a curse, but it's a gift.
I think what makes me feel really proud about doing this work is just being a woman and seeing other women do this, and all of us coming together and going from generation to generation and generation of these women, and just knowing that these little girls are going to teach the next generation, and just that it keeps going on, and I think that's what makes me proud.
Ela veio trazendo o mundo e mostrando assim, olha, tá tudo bem. E a gente aprendeu muito a conviver com a gente, sabe? Eu tô bem no meu corpo agora. E eu consigo mexer ele, eu consigo entender o que ele tá falando pra mim.
Eu espero no futuro ver que essas meninas se tornaram mulheres que são donas de sua vida de uma forma geral, entendendo o que é ser dona da própria vida, não permitindo mais que outras pessoas lhes digam o que elas podem ou o que elas não podem fazer, que elas possam ser livres. E eu espero que essa liberdade aconteça para todas as pessoas que nascem com corpos femininos, que elas tenham direito a expressar o seu gênero, a sua sexualidade, a acreditar que podem realizar seus sonhos, que elas tenham direito a viver.
Please join me Yolanda and Jaya, Mariah, Celia, Stephanie. Before we take a moment to be with these incredible leaders, I'm wondering, Mariah, if you would be willing to explain how we're going to do translations here while we all catch our breath and just notice what's happening in our hearts. Thank you, Mariah, for explaining.
Hi, everybody. Whew, I get very emotional when I watch that film. Okay, so Zoom has a really cool feature. There's interpretation, and so that is like a little globe. And switch from English to Portuguese and Spanish as well.
Gente, fica quieto.
So what's going to happen is Celia.
Maybe Yolanda could mute just for a minute. Thank you.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is my mom is going to ask Yolanda and Jaya some questions. Celia is going to interpret on the back end. And so everybody who's listening in Brazil can hear Portuguese. And then I'm going to translate into English for everybody. So let's see how this goes and just have a little patience with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariah. Thank you for helping to build that bridge. You and Celia both have made it possible for this community to grow into this mighty river of love that flows between us. So I also just deeply want to acknowledge Nicole, who is not with us today on this Zoom screen, but who's so profoundly in our heart every step of the way. And we know that Nicole and Joyce and Tiani, some of the young women in this film.
Nicole está aqui, acabou de chegar.
Oh my goodness, Nicole! We're so happy to see you, sweetheart. Oh, thank goodness you're here. Fantastic. Okay, well, we just want to really acknowledge the girls that aren't here, that are working today, and give utter and complete hallelujah that you're here with us today, Nicole. So let's take a moment and see who's there with you all in Rocinha, which is Brazil's largest slum or favela, a neighborhood, it is called, of 100,000 people. So Yolanda and Nicole, can you just let us have a moment with your community right behind us? You are now 4 generations of females doing this work together. Can you just let us peek at your girls and let's say hello to them all?
Yolanda, podemos ver a meninas, por favor? I think because they're connected, it's hard.
Okay, we'll do it afterwards. We want to see all those sweet faces. But for all of us to know that there's a room full of yellow-shirted, bright-eyed souls, many of whom you just saw on this film. Nicole and Yolanda and Jaya, you both, all 3 of you, have had to navigate through so much complexity in your own lives. And then we add COVID. And life is really very difficult. We know that. We have so much respect for each of you. And I'd like to start with you, Nicole, and ask you, what is the one thing that gives you the strength to keep going in the face of so much oppression? And you have such noble dreams that the world needs you to actualize. And sometimes I'm sure days it feels like it's hard to go on, but something keeps you going. How would you describe that? Let us know you a little more, Nicole.
Eu não ouvi as perguntas. Fala um pouco de onde você conseguiu essa força para você entrar.
Acho que tá muito pra você, não tá não?
Peraí, Nicole. Estamos vendo. Fala, Nicole.
Podemos
Eu não consegui ouvir. Onde você conseguiu essa força para você estar? Eu não consegui. Olha, vocês conseguiram essa força.
Tá. Você pode repetir a pergunta, por favor, Célia?
Please, Mom, can you please repeat the question? She's focused.
Nicole, what gives you the strength to keep dreaming? What are some of your strongest resources, especially during COVID? What are some of the things that really just keep you going? Even one thing.
Eu acho que foi acreditar que tinham pessoas muito capazes e com o coração inteiramente dentro de um trabalho que eu acredito muito. Eu acho que eu acredito que essas pessoas, tipo a Yolanda, a gente aqui, a Jai, elas fazem um trabalho que é incrível, é lindo, e mesmo que seja extremamente difícil, com muitas dificuldades, elas estão aqui sempre. E isso que me dá, que me traz, que me conforta e me dá esperança.
Obrigada, Nicole. So she's saying that, I'm going to mute them again. So Nicole is saying that she gives credit to, that she gives credit and thankfulness for the community that in the Pink Studio and Maya who are there no matter. Maren, can you mute? I apologize. Just that she gives credit to the community and the people around her as her support. And that's the one thing that no matter how, when things are really, really, really rough, which they are a lot of the time, that she knows that she has this place and these community and these people there to support her and keep her going.
Thank you, Mariah. Thank you, Nicole. And thank you, Yolanda, because you have been so important in creating community. Very briefly, Yolanda, can you share that original spark? What inspired you to bring dance to your community? Very simply.
Eu quando criança, fui menina de projeto. E eu era muito perdida, não sabia o que eu queria da minha vida. E a dança me resgatou. Mariah?
Hey, obrigada. So Yolanda's saying that when she was a young girl, grew up in the project situation, and she had no idea what she was going to do with her life or what to do with her life. And dance saved her life.
Beautiful. It's so clear, Yolanda, how inspired you are and how you've inspired Nicole. And now, Nicole, how important you are to that whole community. And there is this strong center amidst so much challenge, chaos, and community beauty and power. So deep respect to what you all have done. And thank you all for being with us in the energy of life in Rocinha, because it can be abundantly creative and hectic and full of energies of all kinds. And now we turn to our dear beloved colleague and sister, Jaya, who lives near but elsewhere. And Jaya, you bring this incredible depth of understanding of the natural world as a resource for girls and for the feminine awakening to herself in the face of so much challenge. And can you share with us just a little bit about what your journey with nature has been? Just give us a sense of how you bring that to your own healing and to so many around you.
Olá. A dança, eu acredito na dança como um movimento de cura, de conexão. No meu trabalho com
We'll just see if she reconnects, but she was just saying that she feels that dance is like a cure, the connection, and a dance, it's like a cure. And then she was about to talk about her work, but I know that she works a lot with the nature world and helping women in a lot of different ways, and with herbs and nature. So bringing the mix of movement in nature to help women and girls.
Jaya has spent time with these young people in the natural environment and in gardens and along the frontiers of trees and beach and plants, and been a teacher and an inspiration there. This internet situation is real, dear friends. Our beloved community members around the world struggle to get online and to stay online. It's expensive, and access is often spotty at best. We're so glad we had a moment with all of you, and we're so grateful to be in community with you. And now we can see all those sweet beings behind you, Yolanda and Nicole. We love you.
Oi.
And we remember you and hope that on the other side of COVID, we'll find each other again and together create pathways for those of you who are aspiring to not only have dreams, but to have those dreams come true, that somehow our bridge can help that be so in dance and outside in the world. All right. So as we move forward on our journey, holding all these beloveds in our hearts, we remember that we as a community are deeply committed to creating inclusive, safer and braver spaces. We're committed to welcoming queer, trans, and questioning folks who bleed, who do not bleed, and who identify with girl, some or all of the time. And in that spirit, we turn to watch a piece of writing, a poem that came through our dear colleague and friend, Angus, who we'll meet after this piece. It came through them during one of our summer programs. However, Angus has been on this frontier as a pioneer and a teacher for all of their blessed life. Let's take a deep breath and allow ourselves to receive more teachings from the edge.
When I was 12 years old, I heard a news story on the radio about transgender children and their confused and distraught parents. I was in the car with my dad and brother on our way to our favorite restaurant. My heart beat, and my bones grew dense as I listened and sank into my seat. The news report privileged the parents' horror at their sick and perverted children, parents with tears in their voices. Ignorance and self-pity mixed with authentic concern. I remember my dad pulling into the parking lot as finally the news reporter gave the stage to a young transgender child. This little trans girl's voice smoked through the speakers and filled my lungs. As my family unbuckled seatbelts and opened doors, I remained rooted to my seat. Her name was Matthew. She didn't like that name. She wanted to wear dresses. Her mother said it was inappropriate to wear dresses. She wanted a pink backpack to take with her to kindergarten. Her dad said the other kids would make fun of her, so how about a blue one instead with Superman on it? She was 6 years old, and as her voice spoke truths I had never before heard out loud, my heart dove deeper and deep into my belly as if for vital protection. Clear tears spilled down my cheeks and red anger sparked up through my ribcage in a manner totally uncharacteristic to my safe and quiet personality at the time. I lost it completely. I wailed in the car. I couldn't believe these children were being denied such simple and innocuous access to colors, clothes, names. I couldn't believe these children were being denied access to a world that was so readily offered me. The world of girlhood. I sobbed in the passenger seat, still strapped in, suffocating with grief. My dad, concerned with my reaction, opened the door and knelt on the street. "What's wrong, honey?" I told him of my anger and disbelief at these parents' intolerance of their own innocent children's innocent longing for authentic self-expression. He could see I was still distraught, so he ventured a sensitive question. "Is there anything else? Anything else you want to tell me?" I remember pausing, realizing he was giving me an opportunity to come out. Was I transgender? I thought about it. I knew I didn't want to be a boy, and since at the time I didn't know any other way out of girlhood, no, Daddy, not really. It would take me another 8 years, a total journey through puberty and early adulthood later, for me to find my own self-generating, creative way out of girlhood, veering away from womanhood as soon as I saw it coming, and turning toward my own inherent gender-bending truth. With so much care and excitement. I was recently reminded of this story, of these early stirrings inside of me. I was in the middle of listening to another story about young children separated from the truth of who they are. This time, not transgender children, but another kind of young transgressor, children who are not crossers of genders, but crossers of borders. Children taken away from their parents, kidnapped as they aspired for fuller and richer futures in a world yet again so readily offered to me. The world of America and her shimmering, deadly dream. They crossed with everything they had. They were met by those who police borders, by the violence that surrounds borders, thousands of children taken, hundreds under the age of 5, some still breastfeeding, all held in concentration camps, detention centers, holding pens. Through the window of my computer screen, I saw their blurred faces between metal fences, keeping them jailed and alone. And the voice I suddenly heard, like a solemn whispering through the desert, was Matthew's voice from all those years ago. Mommy says it's inappropriate for me to wear dresses. Even the ones I really like with the butterflies and sparkles on them. But I don't wear those. Mommy also says it's inappropriate for me to tell anyone I'm a girl. So I don't. I don't want to be inappropriate. So I don't. This little girl's voice, full of sadness and longing to be reunited with herself, melting with the violence that surrounds borders, all borders, separated and alone.
Thank you, Angus. Thank you for who you are and how you are. And you are an open pathway for so many young people who are betwixt and between. And I know you have so much to offer to help receive those young people who are questioning, who are transitioning, and that you're here for the long haul, you as a sometimes girl being, to really welcome and catch those who need role models and safe places to really talk about and discover what's going on. And so I pass the mic to you and ask you, what is your message for these young people who don't even know what they're looking for or who do? Please.
Exploring questions of gender, no matter where you start, how you dance through those questions, and where you land is a sacred, beautiful process and something that is available to each of us. And I would tell you, if you're working with this right now, that there are so many people who are ready and welcome and ready to receive you and welcome you with wide open arms, including this beautiful natural world we live in, which is so gender blessed and so gender creative, just like you all. Keep dancing. We love you, and we're here for you.
Thank you, Angus. Angus is available. Angus is here to hold groups and safer spaces for people to come and explore and heal and move forward in their true identities or their emergent identities. And all the information of how to find Angus is in our chat, along with all of our leaders. We're so glad you're with us on the journey. Thank you for being a teaching and a teacher for all of us. And we know that some people come from religions and cultures that don't necessarily understand or appreciate what you stand for and who you are. And I want to really honor all of the Golden Girls Global leaders who are stretching beyond the bounds of how they have been taught about right and wrong to really know how much they love you and thus open their thinking to new ways of seeing the world and embracing all of humanity. And so that's part of our work here within Golden Girls Global and for all of us on this precious planet. And with that, we'll take a deep breath, spread our wings, and head all the way over to China. Today, we're going to get to spend a moment with our dear friends Chency and Juliet. Very different medicine and inspiration than some of the other teachings that we've already received today. And we were headed to go and work with them this autumn. But as we know, COVID came along. So we're going to have a brief moment with them and get a little taste of what they're doing with Bright and Beautiful. And I'm seeing Chency, but I'm not seeing Juliet. Is that true?
Yep. Yeah, I haven't seen her either.
Okay, great. Well, Chency, thank goodness you're here. We know it's after midnight where you are. Would you take a brief moment and just give us a little bit of the vision of Bright and Beautiful? And then we'll see a film and keep moving through our morning.
Yeah, sure. Bright and Beautiful is a not-for-profit organization that founded in 2013 by Julia and me. It supports the psychological well-being of girls coming to age, living in the under-resourced areas in China through embodied arts and rites of passage. We envision that one day all of our girls feel empowered in their bodies, emotions, and in their interpersonal relationships. Can I share a story that how I met Melissa? I met Melissa in 2014, a year after Bright and Beautiful was founded, and I brought Bright and Beautiful to Watson Institute in Boulder. And Melissa was one of the master course teachers, and definitely the one who has the most influence on me. Our work was hugely inspired by Melissa and Golden Bridge. There are so many things I can share, but due to the matter of time, let me share a small one. I think it was 2014 or 16. I went with Melissa to a workshop she hosted for girls who just entered puberty. I don't remember what exactly Melissa did or say to the girls, but I remember very clearly how it made me feel. I felt the love and caring the girls received from Melissa. That really touched me. And I told myself I need to bring this experience along with the education to our girls in China. So for the past 7 years, Bright and Beautiful has served more than 2,000 girls from 30 schools in 11 provinces, thanks to our 200 plus volunteers and many partners. And it all began with the inspiration of the work Melissa and the community has been continuously doing for decades. And thanks to your hard work and inspiration.
Thanks, Jency. I love your vision to bring the feminine to 1 million girls in rural China. And I really want to say where it all began, my friend, is inside you and in your quest to transform the culture around girls and women in China, across China. And then we had that destined meeting, and I've had the honor of working both here and there with you. So let's just get a quick peek of what you're up to, and we know that we're looking forward to learning so much more with and from you. Such a lyrical spirit you bring to all that you do, Jency, you and Juliet. And we're so inspired and can't, like I said, can't wait to see more. And thank you for making that sweet film and bringing so many girls together in such an uplifted and conscious way. We're going to turn our attention now to Mariah, who's going to talk a little bit about where we are and where we're going. Before we do that, I just want to again thank you, Mariah, for holding so much of our community. There's Juliet. Hi, sweetheart. Welcome. Thank you for the work you do with Bright and Beautiful. And is there just one sentence you want to add? Because we want to keep moving and hear the rest of the women's voices, but just anything you want to add to that, and then we'll turn to you, Mariah.
Sure. Sorry, I joined as an audience rather than a panelist, so I didn't receive the notice.
Give us a half a minute of your time. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So I'm just so proud to be part of this feminine energy with Bright and Beautiful. And I think it takes faith for all the women and men on the earth to carry on what we are doing. Yeah.
Thank you. You carry that, you offer that to us. And we so appreciated your dance in our last launch. All right, back to you, Mariah, who I just want to thank for holding so many of the threads together with Sarita and I and the team. And I also want to acknowledge the work that you did with the community in Brazil in over a period of time and how deeply bonded you are with them and what a leader you are for them too. So take it away now, Mariah, and let us know what's up.
Okay,
thank you. Wow, a lot of different emotions in 1 hour. It's pretty extreme and beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so there's a few things that I want to talk about right now. But first, I really just want us to remember like what we're doing here. What is Golden Girls Global? So I'm just going to read our mission statement just so we really can kind of feel what we're doing here and what our goal and our dream is. So Golden Girls Global is a worldwide movement creating safer spaces for diverse girls to access, explore, and connect with the nature of their own creativity, fertility, and emerging selves and community. Focusing on the arts, especially as expressed through the body, Golden Girls Global supports the sustainability and celebration of the feminine as essential to the health of the planet. Just remembering what we're doing here. So where are we going from here? So we have an exciting event coming up on December 5th, which will be Women and Girls on the Move, Dancing and Dialogue in Global Community, which will be online as well from 9 to 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And this will be led by Melissa and by Leah Molly, one of our amazing leaders. And this event will be a dance event for female identified people of all ages. You don't have to be a dancer, just come join us. And it will be the first of our monthly dance events, which we will be starting to have. And what I'm excited especially about is it's going to be on Zoom, and we're going to have different breakout groups in different languages led by all of our leaders. So we're going to have breakout groups in Spanish, Portuguese, French, Hebrew, and Chinese. And I think somebody's going to put in the chat right now of how you can sign up for that. It will also be on Eventbrite. Thank you, Manuela. And also, if you have interest in girls groups, please let us know. We're going to be starting different girls groups. And there's an engagement form on our website under Connect where we can learn just kind of a little bit more about you and what are your interests. And that also goes along with not just if you want to be in a girls group, if you want to be involved in Golden Girls Global in whichever way, study with us, teach with us, become a leader, all of the things, you please go to the engagement form and we will be in touch with you. And we're looking forward to meeting the people that we don't know. And the first quarter of the year, we will have a long-awaited foundation course, which will be open to everybody, which will be really exciting. And around the new year, we will begin to announce our full schedule for the year. So to make all of this possible, obviously, we would love the help and assistance of the people watching, if possible. We know that people are really stretched at this time. Everybody's struggling in their own ways. It's not easy. But if you have any extra to give, it really, really goes a long way. Just really helping the life and survival of these girls and these leaders all over the world. Getting internet, getting basic feminine products, getting basic necessities so that then they can actually begin to really work on themselves and their creativity and their future and their dreams and their education. So in terms of fundraising, we have a number of opportunities to support our work. Right now, we're really fundraising for the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Brazil, South Africa, the Oglala Lakota Sioux Reservation in South Dakota. They are really having a rough time during Corona, and we're really wanting to assist all of our sisters and family there, Baltimore and more. And hopefully when coronavirus is not a thing quite as much, we are going to be planning some fun fundraising events. So your support is welcome and deeply appreciated, and it helps make this work around the world possible. If you would like to make a tax-deductible donation to our 501c3 educational nonprofit, we have a couple links. You can either do that through PayPal or through DonorView. Obviously, we can also receive checks to Golden Bridge. So thank you. And I just want to say thank you. Obviously, we've said thank you to everybody who's helped us get to where we are. But I really want to just say thank you to the people who are watching, the people who have been supporting us. Thank you for your interest, your time, your presence, your ideas, your care, your feedback, your love, your support, your patience, your enthusiasm. And we really look forward to creating and continuing to help each other and help young girls everywhere. So thank you for being you and being here with us. And just gonna give a little shout out to my little sister, my grandma. Lots of generations of the feminine. And so now I would just like to invite everybody back on for where we're gonna get to hear some from women we have not heard from around the world. So please come back on, everybody. Thank you very much.
Namaste. Namaste. I am Kanika from New Delhi, India, currently living in Lake Atitlan, Guatemala. Here I am working and dancing with the young indigenous girls of the Sotujil and the Kaqchikel Maya people. They are vulnerable to abuse, to trauma, to neglect in their households, which are underprivileged, under-resourced. And I think it is my deep unconditional love that has somehow miraculously allowed me to reach into their hearts and their trust. And it is in a foreign language, which is now completely forever embedded in my DNA. I am their mentor, their safe space, and a living mirror of their own immense strength and resilience. During COVID, they've also been hit with a landslide, a completely devastating landslide. They have lost families, they've lost their homes, while already living in extreme poverty. And evermore, I am persevering to bring more joy, more courage, more love in their lives. I also am navigating the challenges of living my own life in this foreign land, very far away from the systems and support that I know, my own language, my own people. It is my fierce protector that wakes me up each day to keep creating opportunities for these young girls to gather in safer, more just, and healing spaces. I love being a Golden Girls global leader because here I am seen, I am held, and I'm supported unconditionally. Here I'm reminded that I am not alone. Thank you for being with me.
I am Leah, born in Jamaica, currently living in Middletown, Connecticut. I'm serving young girls who are blinded by privilege and blinded by oppression. And during COVID, we struggled to survive as we witnessed the dehumanization and the killing of Black bodies by the hand of those who are supposed to protect us. We witnessed the continued dehumanization and killing of Black bodies through our pandemic. And I am strengthened by my ancestors, the strength of my ancestors, the resilience of my ancestors, the knowledge that everything will one day be okay. Thank you.
Leah, I'm Tess Eckert. I live here in the ancestral homelands of the Ute in Salida, Colorado. I am a descendant of mixed European and also American Indian ancestors from the Chickasaw tribe of Oklahoma. I work with local and international girls and women who are seeking healthy and creative ways to be in their bodies and in relationships and with their environment. So more safety and more belonging in the body and in our places that we live. During COVID, a big challenge, which has actually been a creative challenge, is how to maintain balance and healthy ways of staying connected through quarantine. A lot of struggles with substance abuse with the younger women that I've been working with since being, disconnected and in quarantine. My courage and compassion helps me meet the women that I work with, and my dedication to developing and healing my own relationship between my inner and outer landscape from a place of respect and humility helps me show up with integrity to inspire the young women I work with. And just lastly, my dedication to decolonizing my body and my mind is what inspires me and keeps me showing up so that I can heal the divides in myself and externally in the world. Thank you.
Jambo, my name is Furaha Antoinette. I live in Ontario, Canada, but originally from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I work with women and girls who are affected by the war in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. During COVID-19, it has been a struggle for the girls and women in the Democratic Republic of the Congo to meet their daily basic needs due to the fact that businesses, markets, and other sources of employment opportunities were closed. This has really been tough for the group, and it has really been hard for them. The compassion in me and the humanity in me always makes me think about these girls and women in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I always think how they survive, how they live. So that one always pushed me to always think about them. I love being a golden girl global leader because I'm always inspired to empower girls and women around the world. I love you all.
Hola, I am Machol. I live in Guayaquil, Ecuador. I work with girls who are mostly students of the only public university of arts that there is in my country. Young women that come from social and economic unprivileged backgrounds that are trying to find their truth and dreams through art. During COVID, we have been struggling a lot with domestic violence, access to food, access to medicine, and technology to continue studying virtually. My empathy and resilience and body intelligence helped me to meet these young women and offer them a safe space to reconnect with hope, with life, with self-love and strength. I am their mentor, role model, and sister. I love being a Golden Girl leader because I am part of a worldwide community, of a big family, where I find the support and love that I need to get nourished and continue serving these girls and the world. Love you.
Hello, I'm Abigail Lubon. I live in Boulder, Colorado, and I work as the clinical director and primary therapist with Golden Girls Global and in private practice. I work with girls and people who identify of all genders who are struggling with mental health issues, psychological, and seeking psychological, somatic, soulful wellness. I'm a somatic psychotherapist licensed in the state of Colorado. My work focuses on dance movement therapy and using creative arts as a primary part of the therapeutic process. I work with individuals exploring identity, relationship, life transitions, including navigating the realms of addiction, substance abuse, body image, disordered eating, out of control impulse behavior, and sexual trauma. During COVID, many people I've worked with have noticed or sought out an increased need for support with the impacts of social isolation, lack of contact with community, seeking tools for emotional regulation, navigating uncertainty, and navigating changes in their current family and relationships based on the lockdown or quarantines in various different locations. Also an increased need for personal expression, communication tools, navigating feelings of overwhelm, anxiety, and depression. I'm deeply dedicated to supporting this community of individuals in transforming and unwinding through the painful and traumatic experiences of life into ever more fulfilling and satisfying experiences of wholeness in our day-to-day lives. I really and truly appreciate and love being a part of the Golden Girls leadership because it's such an honor and privilege to be in continuous dynamic relationship with a global community that's constantly inspired and evolving to be more full, profound examples of our truest being. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Raji. I'm from South India. I'm living village called Kotakarai. I'm working with the girls who are step out from school and who's going to school, and they're doing a dance and arts, and then they're learning also about herbal medicine in our center. And yeah, these COVID times, they are really learn more about their bodies, because this is really such a time for them. They don't have much knowledge about what's going on in their bodies, and we really found this is such a nice time. Each time they learn about their self. And yeah, I'm so proud about, I'm a good sister and good mother for them. And I want to say thanks to the Golden Girls groups. And yeah, vanakkam.
Buenos días, me llamo Manuela. I was born in Colombia, and I am currently living in the Chumash territory of Southern California. I work with girls and women that are affected directly by war in the territory of Colombia, mainly in Bogotá, the capital. And these women who have lost their kids, their husbands to war. I bring forth, very inspired by this work, I bring forth creativity and healing to these communities of women, and by Melissa's work, of course, as well. And during COVID, this whole work that I started a year and a half ago has stopped. So therefore, I'm hoping that when borders open again, I'm able to go be back with these women and keep doing this important work. And my courage really supports and helps me meet these girls, women, and this community, because I know that there is light at the other side of pain and hardship. I love being part of this community. I love learning with each and every one of you. I am inspired, and I love being part of Golden Girls Global, because every day and every meeting and every conversation inspires me to be a better girl, woman, and human. Thank you.
There is a balm in Gilead to heal the wounded soul. Oh, there is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul.
Thank you, Amoras, Ebony. Thank you, dear humans. There are many more stories to be shared here. We've heard little pieces from all of you over this launch. And Jaya, because you were cut off due to internet, I would like for you to just close with a simple few words, prayer, to bring us home to ourselves, to the hope of a global community that really serves she, they who is becoming in a just, inclusive, and equitable way. And in that, we come to our close. Bring us there, Jaya. Take us all the way home.
Que nesse momento em que estamos aqui reunidos por um bem comum, por um bem maior, que é a elevação de todos nós como seres melhores, que isso possa se tornar uma realidade em nossos corações e que isso possa ser luz no mundo.
We bring our hands together. We put them on our hearts. And we share this love with you and all of yours. May the ripples be wide and filled with grace. And we say thank you. We look forward to seeing you all soon again. Peace.
y'all put it?